Bava Kamah. We're holding now daf Amud Aleph, and we're holding by the words Gozal Par. Excuse me. Gozal Paramu Beres V'Yolda. If one robbed, Mishnah said, if one robbed another pregnant cow, and then gave birth while in the robber's possession. Mishnah said, or if he robbed, let's say, a rochel that was laden with wool, and the robber then sheared it, he pays the owner the value of the cow that is ready to give birth, or the value of the wool that is ready to be shorn. If one robs another of a rochel of a wool, and he sheared it, so, or part of the Yolda. So if a person robs, let's say a person's rochel and sheared it, a person robs a cow and gave birth. So the halacha is, he must pay it and its sheared wool, and its offsprings. These are the words of Rabbi. This is now. A stolen item is returned as is. But a stolen item is viewed as though it has been monetarily appraised at the time of the robbery, and the robber pays only that amount. The boy they asked this question: my time of the mayor, what's the reason of the mayor? Does he hold? In other words, we said before that the robber returns the animal and its sheared wool, or the animal of the offspring. Is it due to the fact that he holds that despite a change, the changed item remains in its place? Or do we say that Rabbi holds that generally one acquires an item due to change? And over here, it's just a penalty that he imposes, which forces the robber to return the item that is technically his. The Gemara says, what's the difference? The case where the stolen item was the value. If Ramir's reason is that despite a change item has remained in its place, it is returned as is, even if its current value is less than the value had been at the time of the robbery. But if he requires the robber to return the item itself because of the penalty, and by right the robber acquired the animal due to the change, then in this case, where the value decreased, the robber would be required to return what its value had been at the time of the robbery. Tashma. Come in here, what was taught in the Mishnah. If one robbed another of an animal and it aged while in its possession. Now, so if one robbed another animal and aged while in its possession, so diminishing its value, or if one robbed another of slaves and they age, he pays according to the value of the stolen item at the time of the robbery. With regards to slave, the robber says to the owner, that which is yours is before you. But with regards to an animal, he pays shasach. Now, if the mayor holds that despite a change, the change remained in its place, the animal should be returned as is in the case of the animal that aged as well. Must be the mayor, he holds that the shina is and it's just a penalty which has penalized the robber. Amri, they said, the mayor's reason cannot be proven from the Mishnah, because the mayor is speaking to the Chacham in accordance to the rabbi's own statement. According to my own opinion, shina and vafil behemanami. But according to you, the Amri and shina it does say shina means babna. You have to agree with me by a slave. The karka say karka, but karka and zealous, and the legal status of the real estate cannot be stolen. When I run late, how they give it to me? The legal status of a slave is like a movable property. Where again attempts to find the solution to the question. Dashma, let's spare the Adam, let's swear shachar. If one gave wool to the dyer to dye it red, for him and he dyed it black, shachar tzva Adam, or dyed it black, or to dye it black and dye it red. Meir says, made samray. The dyer gives the owner of the wool of his wool, since the dyer violated the owner's wishes. And from here we can learn the made samray in the value of his wool he has to give. Made samray b'shivchelei, with the value of the wool its enhancement. In other words, the amount which the value of the wool increased because it was dyed. No, he's not need to get it. This is what the Mayor holds. Shine and the Kiri holds that She doesn't kaina the made samra shivcha by the mate of law. The dyer should be required to return the value of the wall and its enhancement to the owner, and it's never left in the owner's possession. The last Shamina, because our Ramir Shinikaina, Balka Knasavilla, whereas the Taki Resh Famina. Ikid Amri Hall Lil Iboilan. Some say that the Ramir's reasoning was never questioned for us. With the Ofi Charavatani. Why not? From the fact that Rabbi reversed the question of the Mishnah, it taught as follows. Gozel part of the Iskina, if one robbed another of the animal and it aged, Mishal Pshas Gzela is to pay the time of the Gzela. To the Mir, Chomim Bavadam, ever Lahar Shachalaf Anacha. Why the Mir Shinikina? So for sure, Mir holds Shinikina, Vacha, Knasa the Cook, honestly. But here, the case of the cow that gave birth of the Ul, that was shown that payment of the offspring is a penalty which he penalizes the robber. Okay, when he asked the question, this is how he asked it. Kikokonis, amazing when the Mir penalized the robber. This is only for one who robbed intentionally. Al Basheg Lekonis, Bod Basheg not. Come here, 5 types of monetary claims are collected from the unsold property that is still in the possession of its owner, or the owner has not been sold in the meantime. What are they? Peiros, these are produce, or shvach peiros, the enhancements value of the produce. One accepts upon him at the time of condition to provide sustenance for his wife or his daughter-in-law. Of a get bas ishte and his wife's daughter, to get chayushem be'achrayis, and a get a note that has no guarantee. In other words, a document that does not explicitly state that all the properties will serve as a guarantee payment of the debt. So bas ishtem be'achrayis, and similar to a woman's marriage contract, there is no property guarantee. Now, man shamas leid amar achrayis lafto asefro. Whom did he hear that says that the guarantee the sale from the document is not? It must be the mir ktani peiros or shvach peiros. The Gemara says, what are the circumstances in which she collects that has value of the produce? Again, the case where one robbed another of a field and then sold it to another. And the purchaser enhanced it. And now it's leaving the possession of the purchaser because the robbery victim has proved in court that his field is his. When the purchaser collects the robber who sold him first the field in order to recoup what he has paid, he collects from the chasam. An enhancement, the value of the improvement made by the field by Machas Arab. Why are both of these collected from the robber? Because the owner of the field came, took both his land and enhanced the value. So the Gemara says, Mai was not speaking of Lab Amaris, the other Kakin Zealous, anything else. Must be of an Amaris, so does not know whether property can be stolen or cannot be stolen. And nevertheless, the owner of the land can come and take the land and enhance the value. Amri like, Talmud Chacham is talking about Talmud Chacham, then he knew that the robber has no right to sell the land. The purchaser is therefore penalized and is required to return the enhanced value of the land as well. Tashma, in other words, tries to again teach, come on here. I was taught in the Mishnah. If he gave the wool to dye red and he dyed it black, Shachar Tzva Adam, or to dye it black and he dyed it red. Right? The dyer gives the owner of the wool the value of the wool. The made samra in, made samra b'shechilei. The value of the wool, it has its value. No. If it enters in your mind that the remainder penalizes what was acquired, the stolen item unintentionally as well, the made samra b'shechilei by the mitfilei, the dyer should be required to return the value of his wool and his enhancement to him. El ashra we know, but mezid kanis. Include from the Mishnah was done in intent. Kindness, Peshig like Ashramino. A stolen item is returned as is. So the Gemara asks, what's the difference? They disagree with regard to the enhancement that is still upon the stolen item. Review the server, the Nexalavi belongs to the one who robbed it. Rishim server, the Gazan belongs to the robber. However, the Kula Almo holds the note. Everyone agrees that the enhancement that is still upon the stolen item belongs to the robber. Here they disagree with regards to whether the robber can keep 1/2 or 1/3 or 1/4 of the value of the enhancement. He holds that the enhancement that is still upon the stolen item belongs entirely to the robber. The robber takes half, the real the shakal gazan, 1/3 of the fourth. Tanan, in a Mishnah. If one robbed another of a cow, when the sabra has to be old and it became pregnant in his possession, Rachel, or he robbed the Rachel and it became glad with the wool in his possession, Sham Shas Gzela is based on Shas Gzela. Yolda Elam, Mashallah Yodla, Adarbeina. But if the cow did not give birth, it's returned as is. Bishlam is read, Milakrin Tirzid Amashavach Al Gabi Gzela, who holds. It is the opinion that the enhancement is still a stolen item belongs to the one who was robbed, and is Avalar Rebuda, which is Exal Contributed, Hamani Rebuda, Al-Rav Pobadamar, the Gazan Hamani must be later be delivered from Allah Pavaba, who didn't affiliate the Nami. The same would apply even if they did not give birth. Shas Hagzelu Lumashal, the robber pays according to the value of the animal at the time of the robbery. While the Tani Yolda, and that which says Yolda, I did not say Yolda, since the first case says Yolda, now this is Nami Sefer Yolda. I can say the publisher from never in Sekidu Shum as the Bekesav. The stolen item is viewed as though he has been monetarily appraised at the time of the theft. The Mefza, for the purpose of giving 1/2, the Shtish would be 1/3 or 1/4. However, Kavin and Baker of Kana, when we were asked, when we were studying in the study hall of Kana, when we were asked the question, Shimadam the Mefza, the Shtish of the Shekel Goslin, he says that when we remove the robber, when we remove the robber, taking the stolen animal from him and paying the portion of the enhanced value, do we remove him by paying him his share with the money, or perhaps he takes a portion from the meat of the animal? The answer is Shavach in 3 cases, the court appraises the enhanced value of the parties involved in enhancing the field, and they are paid in money rather than by being given a portion of the property. And this is Bechel Pasha, that your firstborn son who makes payment to a regular son. The second is the creditor to our purchaser, and a Balchil Yisim. Our lady, he really say that the creditor gives the purchaser any of the enhanced value at all. He says that a creditor collects all the enhanced value of the value. Our ladies, he still like here with regards to enhancement that reaches the shoulders. In other words, the produce that grew to the improvement made by the purchaser is fully grown and ripened and can now be harvested and carried upon the shoulders. And here Shmuel stated the creditor does not collect enhanced value with regard to that case where there was an enhancement that does not reach the shoulders. So these are daily incidents of this type. And Shmuel would collect from the purchaser even enhancement that reaches the shoulders. So Rashi said, like Kasha, it's not a question. Shmuel would collect enhanced value for a case where the creditors is owed by the debtor the amount of the value of the land that enhanced the value. And the ruling that Shmuel would not collect the value of that enhancement is for a case where the creditor is owned by the debtor only the amount of the value of the land. So Amrlei, so Ravina said to them, if the purchaser of the field has money, then he still cannot remove the creditor from the land. But according to the one who says that the purchaser of the field has money, he can remove the creditor from the land. So let the purchaser say, if I had money, I remove you from all the land. Now that they're not sufficient money, how they converted the Arship with the Arka, give me at least a griva of land, which is the amount of my enhancement. My skin gained the Shavi in Ali. We're dealing with a case where this debt was set aside, the field as a designated payment for him. He said you're only going to get paid from here, in which case he clearly has a lien out this field and nothing else.